Mark, onshore support,
Okay.
also with Bahar. Hey
Hi,
guys.
Mark.
So yeah, they have a good understanding of what we're doing.
I would say we're good to go. Let's give it a shot.
Awesome. Is the ship done moving?
Oh, we got nice little colored blocks now.
Hey, Nav.
There's the little Minecraft blocks.
Do you want to sort of be here for the start of the survey? And then
I'm going to stick for the whole thing. I just got up, so I'm not that hungry.
you're
So
not hungry? Okay.
you can go if you want.
Yeah, I might go real quick if we're still waiting for Atalanta to move.
Yeah,
Well,
good
important
time to go.
breakfast. There's a.
Okay, promise.
We're getting stern orders not to break anything and to be good. You're off mic, but
Do we expect these surveys to take quite a bit of time?
No, it shouldn't. Once we start rolling, there's going to be an optimum speed, which would be, how fast do you think we should go? 0.3? And we're going to go about 100 meters, so.
Okay.
it's a great question asking where we are compared to the vent that we were at yesterday, and the same spot. We're in the same spot we were yesterday. Yesterday we deployed bars and did some recovery of the old bars. And so not too long ago, we left that location to fly over to here, the IP, the instrument platform. And the purpose of that was to drop off some equipment that we're going to recover. And then we're going to float back in the direction of that vent system. So we're not just in the same neighborhood, we're at the same address that we were at yesterday, really. We're just getting an even better view. And someone's asking what heading refers to. Nav, are you comfortable answering that one?
It's basically the direction of what the ROV in this case, if we're talking about the heading of the ROV is facing. So right now, oh, I got the wrong screen up. You have one up there. We are facing west. So 270 is west.
Yeah, so the reason we know that 270 is west is you think about it as the
Oh, sorry.
300
Atlanta is facing west.
Atlanta is facing west. So the compass, picture the compass, 360 degrees around, so 0 is true north, and 180 would be true south, and then all the degrees around there. So when you look at a heading and you have a number in the 2 to 300s, you're looking again at that kind of west, northwest. When you're looking at something kind of in the 0 to 90s, you're looking at kind of northeast east. If you were at exactly 90, you'd be at exactly east. And this is indeed the Endeavour site where we are hanging out. This one we kind of affectionately know as Grotto. Fabulous view of our junction, of our instrument platform. All those cables and cool things hanging out there.
Hey, Steve.
Yes?
What does CORA stand for?
Cabled Observatory Reciprocal Acoustic Scintillation.
Thank you.
Can I get that one more time? Cabled acoustic observatory.
Cabled Observatory
Okay.
Reciprocal Acoustic Scintillation.
Is it very scintillating?
It's looking at the scintillation of acoustic signals, yeah.
Oh.
Star scintillate, twinkle, twinkle little star is a scintillation. And the same math and physics is applied to acoustics across a vent, which it'll be scintillating.
Twinkling.
What's that?
Twinkling, essentially.
Yeah.
Cool.
Acoustically.
Acoustically twinkling. All right. I think I also got my Twitter status update for today. How long has this instrument platform been down here, Steve? Do you know?
No.
I can look that up.
Oh, thanks. That'd be
Pretty
great.
easy.
I'm just wondering why it's it doesn't look particularly overgrown or dusty, so I'm curious how long it's been down here.
It's when Adrian left, or maybe because there's a Adrian bobblehead right there.
Okay, that is Adrian bobblehead. I didn't want to say anything and be wrong. I thought that would be mean, but that's what we're looking at.
This has been here since 2020, it looks like. June of 2020.
Cool. So exactly 4 years then.
Yep.
Awesome. Are we able to look a little closer at that bobblehead?
I don't know if I can. Am I able to zoom? Or do I need to keep my focal length?
Hey, check that out.
Look, we're looking at Adrian. excitement.
Do you want to hit record?
Yeah.
And then that'll take the local video and then share it on.
Right.
Okay.
That's yeah, that's the goal. Thanks for reminding about that.
I have to say, for a little guy that spent 4 years on the seafloor, he looks pretty good.
Who's this?
Got a little
This is,
friend in his pocket too.
oh yeah, that, I don't think we added that, but check that out. Maybe we can get a zoom on that little friend. But to answer your question, this is a gentleman named Adrian Round, who was part of Ocean Networks Canada for a very long time, and did a lot, and kind of as a badge of honor, token of respect, he was turned into this bobblehead and placed on the platform.
Thanks, Monica. Yeah, I think he must have been at ONC around before my time.
Yes, he is probably just left, retired at the same time that you came on, but very, very talented sailor and important part of ONC.
I mean,
Though
yeah,
I
he must
do-
be to get a bubblehead.
Indeed. Now, I do wonder what is attached to his pocket. Now, that is a strange thing, and maybe just under the edge of his vest there, his vest badge, we've got some little gold thing. I wonder what that is.
I'm no scientist, but I believe it to be a benthic ctenophore.
A benthic ctenophore.
I believe. You can see the little string hanging out of it.
Mm-hmm.
They can extend and retract that little gizmo to collect their victims. Really hard to see.
And he's firmly attached,
Yeah.
and he will get bigger.
Am I right, Steve, or am I way off?
I think it's a 10 or 4, but there's no biology. We need Trevor or Fabio.
Fabio. He's probably eating breakfast down there.
Is
Laughing at us for horribly missing what the critter really is.
what about the little gold blip just under what would have been his ONC badge? What is that?
It could be a snail.
Are we able to zoom a little closer?
No, but I can do a manual zoom.
Yeah,
I see.
full zoom.
Nope, that's it.
That's full. All right, it's just a badge.
We can hit it with the lasers.
Now, there's a great question about whether we have a mascot or a ship's figurehead, and not really, nope. But again, some folks who have really given a lot to ONC and these projects over the years are sometimes honored with a bobblehead or other figure, and they do also serve the purpose of designating which side is which. When you get down there and you've been spinning around and you're looking at 4 identical platform sides, it could be helpful to know that we're on the Adrian side.
Do you think his head still bobbles?
Can I test that theory?
I was going to see, well, we're here. We might as well. But what if it falls off? That would be. Because presumably a bobble mechanism is could have
It
some
would be a
metallic
decapitated Adrian.
objects inside there. And metal, as we know in this area, seems to want to go back into its liquid form
Yeah.
since the solution.
I could try and rock the platform and see if we can get a bobble, but I don't think the engineers would be impressed with that either.
Do we have a ETA on this survey starting?
ETA on what?
On starting the survey?
We could poke Master Bonnie in the lab and see if he's...
I'm right here now.
Oh, are we ready to go with Norbit?
Yep. All I gotta do is hit record.
Oh, we were waiting for Atalanta.
Atalanta is in position and in heading. It's Hercules that's...
Good call, Steph. We were just sitting here waiting for each other.
I'm just thinking about breakfast.
Me too. Good call.
Video,
Okay.
you want to zoom out for us?
So we've got a nice DVL fix on the location there, right?
Yeah, we reset DVL when we were sitting on top of the IP.
You can
Okay.
zoom in just past the...
Of course, we haven't moved, so
Yeah, haven't moved much.
Okay.
Rotated around a bit.
okay. So the way I see on I guess that tie pack is we would go basically north, maybe 30 degrees true.
030 north? Sure.
For maybe, I would say, 10 meters anyway. Keeping an eye on the seafloor to see if a good landing spot for something like a mooring, which basically would be a train wheel, but so it can land anywhere, but except on cables and stuff.
Okay, Dan, do you want to ship move 10 meters 030?
Sure, let me get lined up here and
Sure.
then we'll hit record on Norbit.
Can you let me know when we're going to just start?
This is start.
This is start now?
Not
Okay.
quite yet.
Oh.
I'm just coming around. I went around to look at Adrian and we'll get lined up here
Are we still going to request that ship move?
soon.
Yep, pretty soon. That's not going to affect the start time, or will it?
Jake,
no.
are you ready to hit record on that?
My finger's on the button.
Fingers on the button. Okay, I think I'm ready.
All right.
We'll fly over the instrument platform.
Okay,
Hitting
Okay.
record.
We can start recording and
okay. Officially started.
hit,
Thank you.
ready for that
Yep.
ship move.
Bridge nav. 10 meters 030, please. Thank you.
How far did you want to go, Steve?
Starting with like 10, 15 meters just into this area. That's a flat area that we think we can probably drop the, exactly where Nav's finger is.
Roger.
Drop what?
Drop the mooring,
Okay.
and then we will head directly to where that black seismometer stuff up there, which another nice flat spot, trying to keep North Tower below us. But we'll be adjusting that because Norbit will tell us where North Tower actually is. And this is it. I believe. We're hoping.
Alexa, fly ROV forward 10 meters.
So we're going 10 meters, 30 degrees true.
Roger that. The computer is going 10 meters, 30 degrees true.
There's some great questions while that's happening about what kind of creatures we might find, whether they're living in the equipment or whether we need to be careful of ensnaring them in our equipment. And I can kind of answer both questions in one go. Yes, we do see lots of creatures that come and colonize the equipment that we place down on the seafloor and find it to be a pretty awesome place to live. And we are very careful about what we use, how long we leave it, if we're going to leave it, to prevent it from having an impact. It, of course, being...
So it sort of looks like
Hey,
we're
did
at
you hit
30.
start on your photogrammetry, Steve?
Not the actual photogrammetry, but the
You hit the timer, it's going.
I had
I see
the
it, I see it. Yeah.
the video.
Yeah, I see
Um,
it going.
So it looks like we're going if we stay on the left side of these, we will be not going to make a good line. So why don't we stop here
Roger. I'll stop.
and see if we get on the other side of these 3 cables running north. So lateral over to the other side of the cables.
Well, just so you know, yeah, Norbit's getting a wide swath, but the photogrammetry not. Okay, moving left.
Go ahead, Dan.
Norbit's getting a really
sorry,
wide swath.
I meant right.
Right. Military right.
Yeah. So there's a big cliff right next to us here.
Yeah, I can't go that far.
You can't go any farther that way.
So is Norbit still running while we're doing this?
Yes.
Yep.
So we only stopped our track, like we just, our position.
Yeah.
So we're looking for a landing spot for this guy here, which after we pass this cable, I'm hoping is the right spot. And it's too far. The cables are right where we want to go. That's interesting. Yeah, see, that's too far.
What are you going to land here, Steve?
Nothing really. Right where the cables are is where the perfect spot to land the actual mooring. Can we just go reciprocal back on that 30D, so 30 degrees, so 210?
Roger.
So right now, I guess this probably doesn't hurt Norbit too much. You're kind of getting a mapping area of this landing area here. Jake?
Yeah, if I do a really slow...
I couldn't tell you, to be honest.
If I do a really slow...
It looks pretty good.
I haven't done it at this, like, shallow. I haven't been...
Yeah.
Or this low altitude. I'm not sure how things are affected.
If I do a really slow sweep, it shouldn't.
Dan has more experience. He's flown the surveys, so...
It's just slow movements, no jerky pitching, rolling ROV.
Yep.
I'm probably actually going too fast, but Chris will clean it up in post. Okay, I think
Yes.
I'm reciprocal.
Oh.
Something like that. Gonna fly back to the IP, do you?
We're basically just looking for a landing spot. And it's basically right in the middle of all these. If high pack is right, or whatever the mapping thing is here, survey.
Yeah, it's high pack.
The cables sit all exactly where we want to put the mooring down.
Does this third person view help you, Dan? Do you like this?
Yeah, I like the third person view.
All right.
Helps me when it's not constantly pivoting, but I've yet to experience an orbit when that's not happening.
And just a lovely good morning to everybody who's joining us. Got some folks from all over, some folks from Brazil. Good morning. Dan, apparently you triggered someone's Alexa, and it got Alexa's commercial.
Okay, I guess we can now stop here and hit about 20 degrees true, knowing that wherever we want to lay this thing. So we're stopping here?
Roger. I'll just walk around the instrument platform and get some photogrammetry of it.
Sure.
As I can. Although it would help to get it in the photogrammetry camera.
A great question about what are all those cables for. Lots of things. These all go back to this platform. They're plugged in. They're getting a full suite of internet and power, and they're heading off to the various instruments we have around. I couldn't tell you which one goes exactly where, but these cables have fiber optics and they have electrical connection, and they're heading out to many, many sensors around this site. And many of these sensors and cables are several years old. This is not something that's just been put down today. We are going to be replacing some things and adding some new things, but many of these are running off to our long-standing instruments that are contributing to that time series. And of course, if you're interested, you can get that data on the Ocean Networks Canada data portal, available for anybody and everybody who would like to use it.
020, here we go.
We shifted enough that we should probably just lateral over maybe 5 meters, and then maybe Nav could give us a direction to that flat area. That's where all the seismometer, I think it says chain 1. You know where I mean?
Up here.
Yeah. So we're too far, and keeping that highest bump there, North Tower, in the middle of that line.
Okay. Do you want to?
So the Herc will have to go over maybe 5 meters to the east.
Where do you want to end up? Where near the seismometer target? Like
So the flattest light blue area there.
here.
Yeah,
Okay.
that's a good spot. Yeah. So if we do that line like that and follow that line, that might be the easiest way to do it.
Roger.
And for those who are wondering what light blue area we're talking about on this lovely brown and gray seafloor, it's that Norbit feed that we can see in the quad view. So you can have a look at what we're seeing.
Okay. It's about 020 from where you are now, Dan.
Roger. Oh, excuse me, Roger. Okay, I'm about 5 meters over.
Okay. Oh, 015. Sorry.
6 persimmons, 5 on a good day. Okay, 015, here we go. Ready? Is everybody ready? Are you ready, Steve?
Go ahead.
Are you ready?
I'm ready. Sorry.
Here we go.
Yeah.
Buckle your seatbelts.
Jacob, maybe you can help us with this one.
Yeah.
What reference point do we use for the photogrammetry in the Norbit? Internal navigation, visual reference points. What are we doing?
We're using, for the Norbit, it's a multi-beam sonar, and it's referenced through the vehicle frame. There's a reference frame. It's all mapped out according to a 3D model, which you're seeing of Hercules. And then the vehicle position of Hercules
How far are we
is
going?
acquired through a DVL, which is then referenced to the global coordinate frame of a USBL of the ship.
Catch
So
me if you can.
there's a whole bunch of math that's involved for
How far is it up there?
actually coordinating the vehicle
Yeah,
position
yeah.
in real time.
Plug in the 40.
And it's pretty
Oh, no,
pretty
yeah,
complicated.
20
And then
should do it.
and then actually
30.
referencing the multi-beam points to that vehicle position is also, there's some math involved there.
So we got lots of computing going on at this time.
Lots of math.
Very cool.
That's my very, very limited understanding of it.
So it looks like you're sort of crabbing to the east somehow, even though you're headed.
I moved over 5 meters. You said move over 5 meters.
Yeah,
and I
but
go.
you're not. the angle is your head is 13, but your course over ground is about 40. Or no, yeah, 35.
Roger. I'll just.
So we're trying to get over that. Dan, you can see that really big, nice circular bump there. That's North Tower, and we want it to fly directly over it.
Where's North Tower? Oh, to the left. Roger. I'll just slide back over then.
Yep, just slide back over. That's
I should pick
the
up
distances
on
are so small that. So right in front of us, for anybody who wants to know, is Rogers Pass. And now right in front of us is North Tower.
Okay.
So the idea is we climb this.
Roger. Ah, I really messed up here. I should have these lights off.
So you can see how the map is off from the actual where we are physically. We're facing north, so we're still on that south side of North Tower.
Come up on Atlanta, please. Keep Herc in view. So we're coming up the structure.
Hey, Steve.
Yeah.
What we're seeing right now is this here?
No, we're back.
We're here.
Tail of the ship. Yep.
Okay.
That's how far it's off from.
Yeah. And this, you call this one?
North Tower. So this is what we're trying to shoot over top of.
Okay. So right now we're on the south side of North Tower, going over it.
Right.
Yeah.
So we're right
towards the northeast.
Right.
Gotcha.
But you can see it's off by. That's only like 3 meters or so, but.
Yeah, but it messes with your head.
It totally messes with your head.
Yeah.
That's what I'm saying. It's hard to.
Yeah. It's definitely not nailed down.
So long as we're aimed in the right direction, which
Easy
is.
there, Danny. Easy. Just jerk me. Come back down. 25 meter delta. Gonna maintain.
So the big thing is to get this height that we're getting now, which hopefully we'll get with an orbit or the altitude.
So you want the height of North Tower.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Relative to where the IP is roughly, and those cables were, and the far end. You see, it's it's a hard thing for a multi-beam to grab.
Tilt up.
There's a lot of structure happening.
Up. They're going to be busy.
Completely vertical, right?
Yeah, it's a little easier to survey it like from the side rather than dead straight on.
Yeah, but we're just trying to get the height of its actual height.
Okay.
So there'll be a line of acoustic beams going across the top of it. So as you can see, it's a very tight area. If you're off by, a meter, you've missed the top of it. One way, meter the other way, you miss the top of it. So we got 1, 2, 3. Now we're not see anything for a while. So we just have to fly. Is the altimeter up?
Yep. 13
Is it
meters.
getting affected by the water, the hot water?
Nope, 14 meters up, but I'm not
It's in the back of the vehicle, right?
convinced I'm clear
Yeah.
of it. Sonar says I am, so yeah, 14 meters up.
Is there a way to show Norbit's azimuth altitude? Jake?
Okay, I'm gonna hold that depth and fly through this cloud. Can you put Norbit back up there, Jake, so I can see just my altitude as I fly over? Jake, put the model back
Yeah,
up.
altitude from.
He's looking for altitude for you.
Yeah.
Put the model back up, please. You can get your other data after, Steve.
Well, we want to know whether we're getting it or not.
Well, you'll see it as I fly through a black. I need something to see when I'm flying through the smoker here. So we don't fly right through the plume like that. You got to fly through it to get the data, and you'll.
Yeah, it doesn't look like Norbit's getting much of this.
It is. Let me fly through it. We got it right in the plume.
I think you're way up now.
Yep.
So you would have been pushed up by the plume, Dan.
I did get pushed up by the plume. And Danny's pulling me up. Okay, there's too much stuff going on here, right? I can't be, I'm using the model to fly, can't be moving the model all around. And you're pulling me up. Yeah, 25 meter delta you gotta maintain. Okay, I'm gonna come back down now. Pay out. 25, Danny, pay out, pay out. You're not moving.
So this second bit of stuff here is Lobo, I think, unless we moved way over. No,
Okay, hold that. I'm gonna turn around and fly back over it.
Hey everybody, I'm just getting in here.
Okay, pay out, Danny. All right, we'll do the same thing, going the other way. I might be able to stay a little lower here, but there's not quite as much going on.
Yes.
so we're approaching North Tower again, slightly different angle.
From the north looking south.
Yeah. So.
Oh yeah.
But at an angle of 40 degrees. It's like 225, meaning the reciprocal would be 40. Fine. We have to see where we're going. You can't, it's nowhere near on the map, right? We should try that with Norbit if he grabs it or not. I don't know if it will, but it didn't do a very good.
Steve, that's not the data. That's just a representation in voxels. So it has to be post-processed to get the data amount. Right now we're gathering the data. You're not going to get it like real time.
Okay, just a sec, Dan. I'm just going to talk with Randy.
Okay, turning around again. All right, I'm going to hold here until we figure out what's going on. Look down, Danny. Tilt down. You gotta run both there, maybe the camera and the winch.
Is that like a filter?
So
So
that be
Steve, just to clarify there, the Norbit does incorporate the depth sensor as well, not just the DVL altimeter, as far to my
No,
knowledge.
no, understood. It's just it's mixing all three, and two are going to be wrong.
Roger.
So Steve, with this would be more or less the top of North
Yes.
Tower.
Yeah, I don't know which way we're facing. 115, we're facing east, so we're, yeah, we're looking back. If the camera lights would be nice to be on right now.
Our camera
Yeah.
that we unplugged and moved?
That's the one.
Yeah, that's probably not going to happen.
I know. We should have left it on. I didn't think about it.
Okay,
yeah,
so
this would really help us.
As far as the altimetry and what the goal of this survey, do you feel that you've accomplished that right now, or is there more things that you need the ROV to do?
We were supposed to go to the far landing spot there that was on nav.
Here, okay. Okay.
So it's
so we can continue northward.
So if we land down onto that spot, we'll get a proper relief of it, the bathymetry, the actual.
Roger that. Okay, I'm going to
we'll
head the ship northward. Dan will continue north over this tower and try to get down into this flat area here.
Roger.
Okay.
And it's completely flat there, which is interesting, but with no
bridge now. Good morning, Flavio. Let's step 30 meters, bearing 000. Thank you.
So that we can log it, what do we want to log for the altimeter reading at the top of North Tower?
11
top
meters.
of North Tower.
No, but what number?
11 meters is what I read.
Time.
11 meters, thank you.
Yeah. Well, that's what I flew over it at without running into it. Come down, Danny. 25 meters.
It's, as usual, more complicated than imaginable, but I knew it was going to be.
Huh.
Sorry, Steve. There's too much going on now that we're tracking a straight line.
Yeah, no, I knew it was going to be harder because you're going to lose visibility as soon as you get up there, and then you just got to rely on that 20-degree true line.
Yeah, I was using, I can see what's going on with Norbit there until we started messing with it, so I had...
Yeah, I was just trying to see if there's an altitude on Norbit, but what altitude are you relying on? The actual one from your altimeter?
The DVL, yeah, but I was trying to fly through the black plume blind, so
yeah,
I didn't have any reference on my sonar, so... And I wasn't through with my altimeter yet, because my altimeter is still hanging out the other side of the structure, and right then...
And you were being shot up in the air.
Well, no, I was, right then Jake took my eyes away, and then I just let go of it, to get away from it.
It wasn't showing anything. I couldn't make it head or tail of Norbit. It's too close to it and too much distorted.
Yeah, I think once we were right in that plume, we got a lot of extra non-terrain pings.
Yeah, well, I don't know if he's
What does it mean that the Norbit is like showing squares now?
I don't know if he's got water column turned on or not there.
Yeah, I'll double check.
It looks like he does in the model. It needs to be turned off. It'll be a lot cleaner.
Yeah.
In the display,
In the display, yeah, I can go turn that off.
The data we're collecting, that will be all, you'll have a beautiful
we can clean
3D
that up.
picture after.
Sorry, I had the same question. So the turbulence from the vent itself, how is the Norbit data able to differentiate?
It can differentiate water column data from bathymetry, but that has to be post-processed. Doing it real time is...
Yeah.
He's just, what you're seeing on the screen there is they're voxels, so that computer that's displaying it doesn't, it can't process all that real time and display it. It would it would lock up.
Sure.
So they're just, large pixels. And there's a tick box in the model. It's just the model that you're seeing to display the water column data or not. So, for example, if we're hunting bubbles or streams with Norbit, we can turn that on, and it will display the water column data.
So, I mean, it's got to be, is it just as simple as that data is dynamic and therefore is vent, right? Like in post-processing, you just say anything static is true data to keep, anything that's moving.
Yeah, I don't know how he does it in post-processing. That's where the magic comes in. Where
That looks like the Maris.
A model that actually, makes sense. And he will, I don't know if it's a different frequency or whatever. But
or whatever that seismometer is.
He can do
so that's on the back side of...
Okay.
He can do a...
That's like, that'll mark the end of the survey.
Did you turn it off on the... You got to turn it off on the RViz display.
The water column is off on RViz, I think, just because of it got a bit overwhelmed because of the plume stuff, and it'll clean up in post, but for the real time, it's kind of annoying.
I guess the color is just because of the altitude of it. That's why it goes from yellow to blue to green. It's not. It doesn't mean anything different other than it's high up.
It's it's colored by height.
Yeah.
Currently.
Usually we do this from about 20 to 30 meters, so it's a bit...
So have we found a flat spot on the north side here?
We're just spinning around right now.
Yeah. Back on my original heading, so...
Yeah, I think we want to look to the left of these towers for flat spots.
I thought Steve wanted to fly over both of them, or just...
No.
All right.
I think we have to be on the left of this spire here. This is, I think, Lobo.
So we're going to look for a flat spot on
this is Lobo.
On the north side of North Tower. We're looking for a flat spot for our northern mooring.
Yeah, so there was a nice spot where the second...
okay.
It's kind of confusing. I think that this is where the first...
You want to visibly look for
the
it?
map is off by a lot.
Fly over and get multi-beam data.
So
that black is, that's the ship. That's not us. We've been doing the red.
Yeah, just to be clear, so we've got Rogers Pass, that mound to the...
That's North Tower.
This is North Tower, and then is this Lobo up here?
Yes.
Okay, so this target that I was given was not correct. I'll erase it.
No.
So Lobo is this here, if you're looking
yes,
at
that whole sort of lower, not as high, and this is the flat area next to it that we're...
Can you come up a bit so you're above that smoker there?
We're thinking is a good spot to put the far corass, where it has a nice, steady sort of... I mean, we might be a little bit close to the first seismometer.
Here's another seismometer on the top of this.
So right there, basically towards where we're heading, a little bit to the left, you climb back up North Tower.
Okay, so we want to make sure we have a good depth of this flat spot, kind of right underneath us.
Roger.
And
we need to move Atalanta out of the...
Yeah, it's still coming north.
So I think we made a slight boo-boo, but probably should have left the camera there with the lights to give us the help in our directions and stuff.
Would we have seen it? It's on the other side of Grotto.
When we're flying up over top of North Tower, you can, even through the smoke, you can sort of, otherwise we basically just got blown up in the air, and you can sort of say, oh, it's still there.
Yeah.
But we'll get the other camera down.
But I don't know, like they'll probably be able to clean up the Norbit, and it'll still look, I'm assuming it'll still look really good.
Who's going to clean up the Norbit? Are we paying some? Chris?
I don't know. Is this
the
a
first pass
Nautilus deliverable?
The first pass will be,
okay.
We can do on the fly, anything. So it's going to depend on what kind of stuff is in the water column. We haven't used it for mapping over plumes yet, so we'll see how easy it is. But
Yeah, it's going to be a fun game, but
yeah, but if it, without that factor, it's a pretty quick process.
But wouldn't you want to fly over it 2 or 3 times at
I absolutely want to do
30
Yes.
meters
Yes, I
at
do
different
wanna do that.
headings to
Yeah, we're
really
gonna do
get
that.
data?
I want to do
Over
just a
North
grid
Tower?
pattern, kind of whatever
Or over
area
everything?
they're
Yeah.
interested
Yeah,
in.
totally.
We just did
so
this.
Yeah.
And we're gonna come.
Dan,
So-
what do you think? The problems
Okay.
that we had trying to fly, like we can go get this depth that we're trying to get here down back behind us, and then if we go flying back over again, as Megan suggested, we should probably do that anyway. But it's probably going to have the same kind of results where we fly
So-
up into it. It's going to be like,
How we've done this in the past, Steve, to get the photogrammetry and the Norbit data, they've been two separate exercises, right? We fly up high at 20 or 30 meters and we fly back and forth, get it from both directions or different angles, right? So your little multi-beams can multi-beam everything and collect all that data, and then we come down and do the photogrammetry, which is just fly all around as fast as you can and take a whole bunch of pictures. And then all that stuff is, K2 goes off and makes his Norbit maps, and Jonathan goes off and makes his photogrammetry, and then they tie those together, and they have however.
but here that
magic,
would be like a 20-hour operation.
whatever magic they have to tie them together. So the models I've seen to date, or the experimenting we've done to date.
But Dan, if that's like 20 hours of something like that, right?
Oh, I don't know. No, we've just done we did that rock basalt one you see online. We just did one high pass. We went one way, turned around, went the other way, and then I just went back and forth on the basalt wall, and we took a whole bunch of pictures that probably took, I don't know, half an hour to do the photogrammetry and maybe half an hour to do the Norbit run.
Yeah, for an area this big, I think I'll walk back there and clarify what part of MEF you'd like to do, and we'll plan a survey around that. We'll get quite a lot of coverage from 30 meters up, so.
Okay, well, for now, I think we want to focus on the core ass, and so I would like to take a waypoint and a height of the flat spot that's right behind you in the valley.
Roger. Stand by. Quick break.
Thanks.
Okay, I'm going to do a DVL reset here, yeah.
Well, I think we reset the DVL on the IP to try to ensure that, I guess, like we were starting from a baseline. Do we lose it when we fly through the plume?
It definitely has degraded. Our positions.
If you do reset the DVL, do it right here where this actual thing is, and then we'll have a locked-in actual position.
Yeah, okay, that's a good idea.
Yeah, the DVL has drifted. It's no longer as accurate as we would like it to be. In an ideal world, it would have not drifted, and we don't need to reset. So, if that's okay,
yep,
it's probably more accurate this way.
Just let us know when it's reset so we can log it, please.
Okay, resetting DVL.
At the seismometer chain 1. Because then we can go back.
Reset.
So the DVL, if it's an ADCP, won't get any of that vertical climbing stuff at all.
It will. It just slowly gets worse. It will degrade over time. So in this case, it was off by a few meters. Okay, so the area now that's kind of directly below Hercules and to the aft, is that the landing flat zone that you want to go down and take a look at?
Yeah, exactly.
Okay, so Jake, you copy that?
Like down, back off the cliff?
Yeah, back off the cliff in this There should be like a flat area right here.
Yeah.
Right now, Atalanta's almost directly above Hercules. FYI, everybody.
So we're gonna do another pass over North Tower, but we'll do it from a constant height after we take this waypoint. So we'll go down, we'll make sure we get a really accurate depth because we have to build these moorings. And so knowing the height is important to us.
So if it's helpful for your records, we were facing the seismometer and have kind of backed up at 0.45.
Perfect.
So if you turn to your left and take us into that valley.
Yeah, and then with Lobo to the port side.
So Megan, just for your purpose, you saw where the seismometer is placed on the map. It's like totally opposite from where we were looking, right? It was a good 10 meters behind us on the map.
Yep.
Just when you look at the maps, they're not. They're
Yeah.
distorted by all the.
So if we could just park down there and set a waypoint.
Can do.
What's that marker?
Do you want to visualize it?
Yeah, actually, because it could help us. It's an L.
Lobo.
It's the Lobo flag.
I don't know. It's a backwards L by the looks of it.
Yeah. Well, it's actually really good to know because when we're placing this mooring, we can place it between the seismometer and the Lobo flag, and we'll know that we're in the right spot.
Sure.
So yeah, maybe park Herc in the at the valley floor, kind of beneath those two. Well, like just below you.
Well, this is definitely the back end of Lobo here.
Yeah.
I'm not finding that the map is actually that far off, this AUV map that we've been driving off of. I think it's the AVE map from however many years ago.
Yeah, it's based on the MBARI 2005 survey.
Yeah.
You said we're on the back side of Lobo?
Western side.
The west side of Lobo, the north side of North Tower. And I would love to take a waypoint.
Sorry, what was that last bit?
I'd love to take a waypoint here.
Roger. Let me just clear this vessel trail so I stop losing my mind.
Unless you want to be closer to North Tower, Steve. How far do we need to be? How far do the two moorings need to be from one another?
There's a 140 meter cable, so 100 meters apart was the goal.
Well, they're not going to be anywhere near 100 meters apart.
Exactly. So
is that okay?
That's okay.
Beauty. I like this spot because it's kind of a clear.
If we made it farther apart than that, we would never put. We're going to put lights on this one. That's the plan.
Yeah.
And then try to line it up through that mess.
Yeah.
Okay, so we're good at this spot?
Yes.
All right, I have a target. What would you like me to name it?
Coras.
Secondary.
CORAS. You want to say secondary or north?
Secondary.
All right, Coras secondary target.
It's where the secondary module goes to.
Yeah.
It's your depth from Paro 2193.
Yes. On bottom.
Okay. Data, do you need me to leave that up there?
Yes,
Yeah, no
please.
problem.
The posterity read.
Got it, thank you.
Sure.
I couldn't figure that out.
So Jake, what I'm going to do is I'm probably going to stop and start this so it'll be recording on the same survey, but it'll be a chunk of data that I could potentially remove if this plume business is hard to edit out.
Yeah.
We're thinking it was 20 meters, but it's higher. You won't see it. You won't know where you are. But
I think once,
The path was, as you
hold
saw,
up, so once we get this, to do the actual survey, let's
I'm going to come
consult
up.
with
To get the
Rennie and
Let's hold for now.
plan it out in terms of like what makes the most sense. After we do the waypoint, before we do the um, actual up above Norbit survey.
Okay. All right, Rennie. So I guess maybe we can ask you for advice on how to operate the survey, but really we're interested in a very narrow path. The idea of the CORAS, I think I don't think you were on shift when we were explaining it, but the idea is that there's two moorings and they communicate with one another through sound. So they have to be pointed at one another. They have to be at the same height. And we want the plume to be exactly in between them because it's going to be this scintillation that they're measuring. So if this is our northern mooring, we're looking to place one on the IP side of North Tower.
Roger.
So if we follow a straight line from here to the IP pretty much, or it's straight across North Tower, then we would place the other one on the other side. And so that's the area that we would like really high fidelity of. And so I mean, one idea is to just come up 20 meters and do one clean swath towards the IP or at that southwest heading. That sort of
Yeah,
but you
gets
won't,
us over there.
you won't. The problem with that is you won't know when you're over North Tower.
well, what we can do is right now, take Hercules, go to the plume at North Tower, drop a target there, and then we can try to track as best we can. Come back, we'll track a line down here to MEF IP, however many, 20, 30 meters up. So we'll have a plume location, and we'll have then a swath survey. So this is just for a single pass. It's not like a survey for all the features like we were talking about that.
I think that's, that's a separate goal.
Right on.
And
I think he's got it right. We try to do that. Megan suggests that. Do the same thing we did on the way up. We go up, climb up. You'll see how steep it is, how small the target looks like, and then we'll probably lose it as we're going over it. We'll get blown off, and you won't see anything. And then we'll do the other larger scale survey that Rennie is talking about.
Well, we can also, I would suggest that once we go get this, the plume target, and we come back, we fly by computer, if we can, as best we can, as long as we don't lose DVL, fly by computer from this to the IP, and hopefully just drawing using that point as a direct center over it. So then that'll keep as straight of line as we can.
Is dropping a target any different than looking at our snail trail from before?
I just don't know where in that snail trail it was. I mean, it may have been here that we were over it, but I didn't. Yeah.
But I mean, more or less, if we sort of fly back to where we started, we'd pass over it. Or I guess that's maybe not an accurate enough statement.
We will pass over it.
We would have already done it now.
The swath is
quite large. You will absolutely get it, but it's whether or not you need to pinpoint where that location is.
It's very pinpoint. I was surprised how narrow and that area was.
Like, wouldn't it show up as sort of like a precipice? Is that not?
We'll see. I don't.
I mean, we've been seeing that in the survey so far, that there is that. My only caveat here is with the real-time visualization and the messiness in the water column with the plume, how easy that's going to be to remove later remains to be seen.
Right.
Right.
It might be quite easy, but.
Well, yeah, okay. Sorry, Dirk. What was that?
Yesterday when we were at the top of North Tower,
He wasn't really able to tell what was. Yeah. And they're saying it can be done in post, but I don't know if we want to rely on that or if we want to go do our own survey of drop a target, and then drop a third target, and take those waypoints that we know we have an old-fashioned survey.
I would feel comfortable going to drop a target. Right at the point.
Okay, let's just drop targets.
Do Rennie's plan. I completely. Two people agree on that one.
What's the plan? Just a much larger scale survey?
We go there right now. We just climb. We see whether this position. We've just dropped the target here. We don't really know where it is completely. We want to fly back. Should be about 20 degrees true, flying back. So at 200 degrees, we climb up North Tower. We'll get on top of North Tower. We'll get a nice sort of height of North Tower between the relief here and top of North Tower. By the time we get to North Tower, we'll lose everything. We won't see anything. We'll be blown off of North Tower. Then we're done that. We got both sides. We've done that. That thing you saw the other side, and then we do Rennie's thing to get a picture of the whole thing.
Yeah.
And we know where that is.
Okay. Yeah.
I think we're all in agreement.
Okay. Great.
Whoa.
Let's do that.
First time ever.
Okay, just to be clear.
Go science.
So we all agree, but Rennie has no idea what we're talking about.
Oh, I thought I was saying what you said.
So we're gonna go get the target visually for
Yes.
We're gonna go and we'll mark it.
Yes.
Right over the tower.
Yes.
And then we'll go. I mean, you said you did the other side, but did you actually put a target on the flat spot? I don't see one. So maybe we should go do that.
Well, we surveyed near the IP.
It's the IP.
Right, but I think we wanted to put one closer to, like, in between the IP and
It's all cables.
It's all cables the whole way.
Yeah. It's right in the middle of the cable field.
Okay, they didn't identify a landing spot in this flat area here. Okay.
Yeah.
So would you go further south?
We could go further south, but I think we have the range. The cable is 140 meters long between the two.
That's good.
We expect 100 meters we can go.
Yeah, I mean, from this current spot that we're seated right now to the MEF IP, just straight line is 50 meters.
Yeah.
Oh.
So
I'm
just using the MEF. I'm basically using the MEF IP as the landing.
They don't need to be equidistant, these two sensors?
They don't need to be. What the plan
No,
was
they
that
don't
we're
need to
going
be
to place this northern one, the one that we're looking at, we're at right now, and then we're going to actually have lights on it so that we can actually line up the other one to go through the maximum amount of. Another sort of backup plan is to make sure that the plumes in between us will see the light, and the plume will be obscuring the light. So we'll have a visual direct lighting over top.
If we go and drop a target from here on the top of the plume, then we can use those 2 points to create a heading. Then we can follow, like we can project that heading out towards the IP and scout there if there's a spot that doesn't have cables for our other mooring.
Yeah, yeah, potentially where that plume is, line of sight. We may want to have an alternate landing zone up here. Why don't we survey in something else a little bit kind of aft of where we are? That way we have 2 points that if we need to adjust the angle based on where our landing zone is.
That sounds good to me.
Okay.
Yep.
So Jake, why don't we back up a bit? We'll lift off, survey this area here just behind you, and we'll get a secondary target. That way we have an angle here and an angle here depending on where landing zone is down here.
I think just aft of the view, it's going to be, or north of you, is basically a nice, even flatter area.
Okay.
Ooh.
So around where Atalanta is, but we'll just take a survey there. I just wouldn't want to get to the other side and realize that there's no landing spots in that, at that angle through the plume.
Yeah, it's slightly tighter here, but on the northern end.
Okay, so yeah, if you back up a bit.
Yeah, just cover it up a bit.
You can feel free to change heading too as well, and just survey everything if you need. So there's our seismometer again. Let's see, just go like kind of where Atalanta is.
Okay.
Might need to adjust that delta. We're kind of directly
Go
below.
up, Danny, a little bit.
Okay, let's take a look at this area and see if it suits the bill if we go down low.
Down low?
Yeah, so we want to check the area out that you're directly above and face southish. Yeah. It's probably going to have to be down in there a little bit, but that's kind of back where we were. So kind of go forward in this deep part here,
Okay.
but kind of stay as far back as you can. Like the further you go into that, you'll be where you just were.
Yeah.
So kind of beyond this rock and a little to the port side, and then face, yeah, you're roughly facing south anyway. Okay, back row, so we're facing south-ish. We've come a little bit north of our prior target, and then it looks like kind of just past this rocky bit on the starboard side is that the beginning of that depression, where we put that first secondary target. Now we're working on finding a second secondary target.
It was on the starboard side or port? It was left of the...
We're roughly due north of that
Right where the lasers
secondary
are pointing.
target.
Right.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah. So I just wanted to get another one a little bit.
Yeah, a little further north. I mean,
Yeah. So you want to, yeah, you.
Well,
backing
ideally,
up a little?
I'd get one a bit west of that last target, so we have a bit of angle to work with.
Right.
But you can go. I think you get more range east-west if you go back a little bit more.
Just because these rocks, we probably don't want to put a mooring on this because it's just so sloped that to target the height, it will be very hard.
There's a big flat piece of basalt
to the north.
lava flow. Yeah.
Will do. Okay, so do you see any candidates in the field of view?
We still want to be the most prepared that we can. Yeah. Yeah, I know, but slopes like that. Yeah. Yeah.
I just can't see behind us.
Okay.
That's maybe I got it wrong from memory, but if we either spin around or...
Okay, we'll change heading to the north. We're now 12 meters from that secondary target, so we've added a bit. We can
if we spin around, we might be able to see what the area that kind of looks like we're. That's weird.
Looks pretty rocky everywhere.
Yeah, this one doesn't look at near.
So we can come back.
What
south.
if you go? I guess we don't want to go east because then Lobo's going to be in our way.
Yes, a higher likelihood of it. I was looking for hopefully something kind of west of that.
Yeah, but it's up a cliff.
Yeah.
So we're facing north.
Yeah.
Due north.
And so this already on our port side, we have the start of that cliff. Is that what Norbit's telling us? Norbit's telling us. I don't know what Norbit's telling us.
Yeah, I wouldn't worry about Norbit right now.
Well, where's the cliff?
The cliff is up to the left, and then there's Lobo
right
up
there?
to the right. Yeah, it's right there.
Yeah, I think because we went directly into a plume.
We completely
rather than we probably should have just had an orbit off. Okay.
So if maybe go up into the left a little, like turn back around up the cliff a little. Maybe there might be a place up high.
We're also getting quite now far north. I don't know if that matters for your measurement, but we are now 20 meters north of the first.
I think we have quite a bit of leeway on that.
Okay.
But I think we should turn around here.
Okay.
So I logged this secondary chorus target. What was the primary chorus target?
Well, we haven't taken one yet.
Okay, we haven't taken a primary one.
I don't know if you're familiar with the orders that we do here, but we start with the secondary.
Burn.
We
Sick
started
burn.
with Maine. We started with Maine. Maine was basically at the
At the IP.
IP.
No, no. Yeah, okay.
But there's no, yeah.
Sick burn.
Yeah, we got it.
And then everybody switched and everything got reset into every different direction. Trust me, frustrating.
Yeah, Steve,
It's just payback for my OBS.
your problem here, Steve, is that you didn't switch out. So if you just walked away from it, you wouldn't be so frustrated.
No.
All right, now we're
it would
quite
be done.
far west. Back row, if you want to take a look at that HYPACK map, are we getting too far away?
It looks to me the flat area that I was imagining is not showing up, so I don't know what happened. But we.
How far away are we from that secondary target that we logged?
We're now 26 meters northwest.
So now we're at like 76 meters from the IP, Steve, in terms of cable length.
Yes.
And we'll likely have to go south of it. So
We'll have what?
And we'll likely have to go south of the IP for a spot. So we might not want to go too much.
So we have
further
140
north.
meters of cable.
Get over into that.
But it's.
Yeah.
I would definitely not go more than 100
yeah.
meters.
Yeah.
But it's still doable to go back. Let's just go for your plan, just to get.
Yeah.
And then the map might show, the big map might show us the flat area that we're not finding now.
Yeah.
Okay, so you can see that L target just starting to pop up, I think, in the port background. So we're getting close to that. There's not a lot of, it's more valley-like than flat.
Yeah. It looks pretty hard to.
Yeah, that's the L flag.
It'll be hard to nail, so the idea would be to lower it with Hercules standing by to land it in a perfectly the right spot.
What's your tolerance on height?
The bigger question.
Hey Jake, hold there.
Yep, hold.
We will have, what's my time? They're omnidirectional in horizontal, but not in vertical. But in that distance, I would say you could probably be off by as much as like 2, 3 meters, 5 meters maybe.
Okay.
But the big problem is to make sure that the North Tower hasn't grown so much, so that they're both hitting the side of North Tower, and rather than being the 10 meters above it that they want to be.
I just don't really see many options.
If you understand what I'm trying to say.
Yeah, I think I understand. And can there be a way to adjust vertically this mooring? Like,
that's the plan, is that we'll have one that'll be set with lights on it, and the other one will be away. We will find that out, survey again, try to get that second mooring in the right height, and have some small adjustments to be able to pull it down by some sort of cam kind of arrangement.
Sorry, just trying to clarify the tolerances that we're working with here. Okay, so we're roughly around where that target was. Do we want to go make sure we get a good target on the plume?
Yes.
Okay, so Jake, it's probably going to be right here that you're flying to.
Yeah.
With that plume.
Yeah.
Steve, we should log this plume target as North Tower plume.
Yep.
For CORAS purposes.
Yes.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. So, I think I think, Rennie, I don't really see any other good options here for a secondary target. So let's go get the plume.
Roger.
Then maybe we can find a primary target.
So
we can
right now,
maybe we don't need a secondary target.
I think directly to our port there is North Tower, which is the target. I don't know why it's showing up like that but.
Well, what I'd like to do is get Hercules directly over, not a visual in front of us, and then we'll get a target right on.
Yeah. And we'll also get, we'll get height. We won't cook Hercules, but we'll get approximate altitude of the plume so that we know how tall to make the moorings.
So, just kind of take a look. Line yourself up as best you can, kind of directly over. First we'll get a visual of it. and then kind of like as best you can, like up above it.
Up
but
and
not,
over.
yeah, but not too crazy close to it, obviously.
I'm going to take a break and Dirk's going to
You can
take
just
over
face
here.
it.
Face it this way.
I just want to keep it in frame, so if I'm dropping a target, I know that I'm
Just driving over it.
yeah.
So that's Rogers Pass in front of us there. We're just over
All
the
right, we'll call
top
that
now.
good right here.
Okay.
All right, I have a target now for, you can kind of get out of the plume now.
Okay.
Where's Atalanta? Lost him. Okay, what am I, this is North Tower?
Yep.
North Tower plume.
Yep. So it's pretty, see what I mean? It's quite a small target,
Yes,
really.
it is. I see what you're saying. Okay. Okay.
You good for me to
Yeah, I'll go
get
there.
all your stuff in?
What was the altitude there? Kind of right over it. Just keep the visual. I don't want to get lost in the sauce here. Just because I don't see where Atalanta is in relation to it.
So you're getting blown up quite a bit now.
Yep. I'm purposely going up.
Yeah, I just want to make sure that our Atalanta and tether are all. If you back up.
I'm very nervous about backing up.
Okay, well, I just didn't want to. I don't want to lose visual of it.
Well, the plume's right there, so it's probably.
There we go.
right
There's
above me.
it's showing up in 360 cam, 180 cam.
Yeah.
So the acoustic scintillation will be looking through it, you know, up in this kind of height. The
Okay.
two actual transducers will be up
So can we
here.
get down? So do you want this altitude, or you want right at the?
We want the altitude we want to guess the top of it.
Okay.
So we can say we want to be 5 meters up and another 5 meters up.
The top of the actual structure.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay.
Well, yeah, I'm still going on Paro for this, which is our most accurate sensor by demarking the depth. So where are we? What page are you on? Is
What?
this-
Huh?
What is this? Is this Atalanta? What are you doing? Tripping me up. 2176. Okay. Okay, I'm good for that data whenever you're.
So I think you've got it twice
Got it,
now,
thank
the
you.
same spot?
I think so, yeah.
Yeah. So we're aimed right at Rogers Pass now.
A little bit off, but yes.
With that hole that you see right in front of us where the lasers are.
Okay.
That's the pass.
All right. So do we want to just go straight to the IP?
Straight to MEF, I guess. Or you want to do the...
Why don't we go survey a location?
The southern location?
Yes.
Yeah, so that's, yeah.
We'll take care of the Norbit survey later.
Okay.
Okay. I'm going to move Atalanta 40 meters, 190. Bridge nav. Step 40 meters, bearing 190. Yes, thank you. Okay, so Jake, we're gonna take Atalanta over here. Once we get a bit of tether to work with, so we're not stretching over the plumes or anything, we'll get and try to find a landing spot kind of near the IP. That's gonna be in line with this secondary target and the north plume target.
Okay.
I suspect it'll have to be south of the IP if they're saying that they didn't find anything north of it.
I have a question for you guys up in the front. Herc doesn't have any, concerns on changing rapid change in temperature or the particulate as you guys are going through the vents?
I mean, a high enough temperature, yes. But as you see, well, when you're using a temperature probe, you can see how quickly this really hot water kind of changes temperature into the cold water around it. So it's only a couple of degrees, much less than, say, the temperature we experience on deck. Is that right, Jake?
Yep.
Yeah. I mean, if we were, you don't want to put the vehicle right up in a vent because whatever that point source is going to be burning whatever part you're touching. And we've seen the effects of that. So you wouldn't want to put a tether accidentally getting burnt by, you know, the plume directly right at the source. Same with anything but the temperature probe really would get kind of fried.
Sure, so it'd be super, super local for
Yes,
whatever, yeah.
So it looks really cool and plumy, but really that temperature-wise, it's not super drastic once it's, you know, just past the mouth of it.
Yeah.
It's the chemical precipitants that are causing that
Right,
coloration
yeah,
rather than heat, although there is some heat.
And other than flying blind through the plume, there's no other concerns about that particulate actually making, jamming up anything on Herc?
There's been instances where if we're sitting up right up in it, that the soot kind of like will just like dirty a bunch of instrumentation and it could like cloud a lens camera. I don't know how permanently it would, how long you'd have to be there for there to be some kind of permanent damage. I think like Dan may have a better answer to that.
The plume water is not going to be affected, but it's also heating the rocks regularly around it. So the rocks are at 300 degrees as well. So that's what if you sit your tether on a rock right next to that, that's what's going to burn it. The plume is mixing 1,000 to 1 every second, so it's 2-degree water with 330. Boom, it's down.
Yeah.
Down to nothing. But it's heating that rock around it.
I do know it's not great to have sooty water go through your CTD.
Yeah.
Are we headed to the platform now? Or
yes, we are. We're heading north. We're just waiting for Atalanta to swing.
Oh, so okay. We're heading south, you mean?
Heading south to the IP.
Got it. I was just wondering.
And then as I understand it, you guys kind of looked around and there was a lot of cables in the potential landing zone, so we're going to look a bit further south.
Yeah, so basically right in front of, right where the beautiful spot that you see on high path to land is just a cable, equidistant cables laid apart that you...
The ones that are going through Rogers Pass?
That's right.
Yeah.
Hey, Shore, can you hear me? Just an audio check for sure.
All right, Jake, you should have enough, start to get enough leash. You can see Atalanta is coming
Uh-huh.
a bit south. It should hopefully place below this feature north of Rogers Pass. So I don't know. We just want to get over to the other side, really.
Yep.
Although I am curious if you were to change your heading to starboard, what kind of the height of what kind of feature we'll see there, just to confirm that it's not taller than this north tower, which I don't think it is. So if you maintain this kind of altitude or depth rather, maintain depth, and just make sure that there's kind of nothing visually in the way from our site to our landing zone. And it doesn't look like there is, right? We've got a wall coming up there, but I don't know how high up it goes. So, yeah, that looks quite a lot lower, so they should be fine. Okay. You've maintained depth, yeah? Cool. Okay, if you change your heading now to 200,
200.
and then just kind of drive straight, that'll be about that, that angle. Yeah.
You want Atalanta the same way, Rennie? Is that you're going to move the ship that way?
I was just lining up the target, the target that we have for the northern mooring, the north tower that gives us a line of attack. So Jake's right on that right now, and he's facing the direction, so we'll kind of try to drive that and find a landing zone. As far as Atalanta, I think we can just follow.
Roger. What'd you say, 222?
200.
200.
Atalanta is slightly off to port, to Herc starboard side.
Roger.
Sorry, Rennie, just to clarify, we're moving in the direction of 200?
I got Atalanta to move south. Right now, Hercules, the way it was lined up is I'm kind of lining up that secondary target, the north plume, and then kind of what options we have in that kind of line.
Okay.
So Hercules is kind of in that line, and that bearing is about 200.
Okay.
So I'm trying to go, then we should see once we drop back down. I also was clarifying that there's no structures in the way between North Tower and this landing spot, so there wouldn't be a visual, but we've clarified that. Jake stayed at the same depth as the top of North Tower plume, and there's been nothing in the way. There is a bit of topography, but it's well below us. And yeah, so Jake, you should be able to drive forward still on your current heading.
Can you clear the RViz display?
Yeah.
Or I can if you don't.
Yeah, it's grabbed over there at that station. I could steal it.
Or I could go release it.
Yeah, that'd be good.
Hey, Steve. How far do we expect we can see the lights if we do that flasher trick on when we put the first mooring down, or whichever mooring down first? Can we expect to see 70 meters?
Okay, if you go down and reacquire the IP, that would be good.
Go down.
Yeah, we'll just be aware as we descend what's around us. I think I'm going to bump out.
We can, but probably not through the plume.
Okay.
Just
we probably won't see anything through the plume, but we go off to one side.
Yeah, so really.
So it gives us a range.
If
the plume's there, then we're good.
What? IP straight ahead.
Oh, I thought you said you had to pee. I need to hit the head.
Okay, got a visual of the IP. I'm just gonna keep drawing this line because it won't be static.
Too many voxels.
See if I can do it. Where is
Yeah,
it?
yeah, please try, because I don't know that I've ever cleared the viz, so. I might have instructions that help somewhere. Yeah.
You can just cycle it on and off, I think.
Oh,
Cycle the viz on them.
There's a reset.
Go to octopoints.
Where is it?
Octomap cubes. Just you can just click them off and click it back on. I think it will.
Q size? Oh, markers.
All right, so back row.
Oh yeah, Q size.
We're clearly at the IP here. Our line of attack, it seems like from what we've seen just now and what you guys saw earlier, there's not really a good landing spot here. So
just,
we're aiming for beyond to the south.
And then check it again.
For looking at a landing spot, is that correct?
So what?
Correct.
Okay, so the line of sight I have, so we'll just continue on this current course and go over.
Right.
I moved Atalanta a bit, so we'll have a bit more leash.
But I mean, it could be right close to the, well, it's up to you guys, right?
I feel like, yeah, we want it, if it's going to be right by the IP, we probably want it a little further away from the IP because it might be a navigational hazard in the future, trying to get in and around the connector panels and stuff.
But 10 meters or?
Yeah, 10 meters is probably tight. It's just going to be, you know, it's going to require more setup when we do end up working around JB, this one.
For some reason, it's lined up perfectly with that JB. I don't understand why, but it has.
Well, yeah, I tried to get you a better angle, but we didn't have any landing spot on the secondary target.
No,
that's okay. How far away can we handle, Steve, from between the two moorings?
It's 100 meters.
Okay.
So right now, from the secondary target to the IP is 50 meters.
Yeah, so we can go 20 meters past the IP, and then it's kind of in that dead zone between north and south.
The IP. I think you should have a little bit of leash to do it, maybe.
Okay.
And that's when we might be moving around side to side.
And you're still moving in a straight line, basically, from the plume in the secondary?
As far as the ROV goes?
Yeah.
Roughly, but we haven't, it's not like drive-by computer or anything. I'm just drawing a straight line on the map between.
Right, gotcha. Okay.
All you gotta do is yell at me.
You were busy.
Yeah, according to High Pack, we're bang on, but it'll be fine-tuned by that lighting thing that we were talking about earlier.
Okay, so if we go down and get some visual on the seafloor of this area for a landing zone.
So, Rennie, one thing, when we do place these moorings on the ground, we'll watch touchdown with the ROV.
Cinema cameras, the lower.
So anything like a meter or even 2 meters from the cable here, from the cables, is fine.
Okay.
Yeah, stereo's the one with the fisheye because there was 2 of them.
All right, Jake, if you stay there, but I want you to move to port. 7 meters to port.
7 meters.
Roughly. You know, let's not get crazy.
I mean, you wanted 7 meters, I'll give you 7 meters.
Yeah.
Rennie, how far away?
And by port, I meant starboard.
Oh, okay.
Sorry, go ahead, Dirk.
How far away from the IP are we right now, ballpark?
Currently 15 meters, 15 meters, and then, yeah, it'll be about the same once we move to starboard to try to get into this line.
Yeah. And as a ROV navigator, how do you feel about what's that, a 30-meter mooring, Steve?
Yep.
Being this close to that IP and the ability to kind of navigate your ROV and still easily reach the IP and stuff. I mean, it's kind of like one of the towers, isn't it?
Yes, but you know how long it takes to kind of navigate around. So in an ideal world, it would be as far away from the IP because it's adding another structure that you have to, especially with a 2-body system, you know, just to kind of like navigate around and not get tangled up with. You'd want to be well clear of it.
That's 7 meters.
7 meters.
Oh, so we're essentially right by the larval trap, so that's a good visual.
So with my line of sight here between the targets, you're a little bit farther to the, need to come back a bit to port. and this is about 63 meters between the two.
So I think we can probably increase that distance slightly then, just to get a little further away.
Yeah, that'd be great. So once you come back a little to port there, we'll drive ahead. I'll bring Atalanta even further. So I'm going to go 20 meters at 205.
So
bridge now.
Megan, that cable is 140 meters long in between the two.
Yeah, that's what Steve
Step
said.
20 meters, bearing 205.
That's as the crow flies, right?
Oh yeah, yeah.
We're going to have to be
We'd have to go
weaving our
around
way.
that Maris channel, or whatever that Maris path is.
Yeah, we don't want to be farther apart than 100 meters.
Yeah.
No, no, I know. I'm just thinking, like, if we're 65 back there, if we go another like 75, that gives us a nice 20-meter buffer to the IP.
Yeah, right now we're about right about here is about what I would say is right.
Yeah, so when
we're pretty well there.
Yeah.
So that's what, 25 meters now?
Once they make this move, yeah, I think it's going to be about that.
That's the intent, yeah.
I mean, otherwise, then you got to run.
Oh, did you say larval trap or you meant sediment trap?
No, there was a larval trap at the just before we moved. Now this time there was a larval trap right below us.
We're going to pick those up.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So somewhere around here, we're getting near to the sediment trap as well.
I can see
yes.
it. Yeah. In the cinema cam. Straight ahead.
Yeah.
There it is. So that's another.
Is this the old one?
This is the old MEF 2023, unless, oh wait, it says 2024. Yes, okay, that's the 2023 sediment trap that we visualized today.
Okay, so that's the one we're recovering.
And that's when we're going to have another one there.
Yeah, yeah.
Exactly there. So.
All right.
So we don't want to go to there.
Okay, so I guess somewhere halfway between the sediment trap and the IP is where we're going to do this.
Okay. Well, I'm moving Atalanta a bit to give it, and we'll be able to drive a bit more towards it, and we'll pick a location.
Okay.
And then we'll just check that lineup that we have.
Yeah.
So we got three points.
Roger.
Okay, I think blue is prepared.
I don't think he was.
It's really cool to hear you guys like troubleshoot in real time.
Okay.
I think like a lot of people who like see this think science is like all
trap dead ahead,
completely pre-planned. Like this is
the IP
field
is
work.
to
I've done field work. I've done lab work. I don't know that I've done both at the same time
So
with the clock ticking.
Follow the cable.
Welcome to ONC.
It's not quite that ahead.
So I mean, yeah, it's really cool to see you guys just troubleshoot real time. Gotta go. Gotta get a solution.
Right.
You know, processing the data as it comes kind of situation.
I like to call it dream boarding.
And then we'll want to be on the starboard side of this just to keep in our line. So that's about as far as we want to go right there. And then I want you to, let me get this line up again. Yeah, okay, that's not bad. A little bit to starboard.
You know, think
right on
about
top
like
of her,
how many students do like
MF Southgate
lab activities or something like that, and it's like cookbook, right? And they're graded on percentage, right? And it's like not representative of what real science
Yeah, you
looks
definitely
like.
have to be flexible and ready and willing to
hold there.
process new information to
it's the
shift
difference.
things
The
like
sediment trap's about 10 meters
hang on
too
to a plan too
starboard.
closely.
Yeah,
10
yeah,
meters
yeah.
to starboard,
It's the
Roger.
difference between, well, not so much science and engineering. Engineering, you got to get it right, and you have to have all the science in the background to make sure that you build a bridge. It doesn't. Oh well, that one's not. That one didn't stand up. Okay, well let's just move it.
Visualize. So stop.
Right.
Move it over this way a little bit.
Top one.
Right,
This
right.
one.
So that's
Stop
the
that one.
expectation is so when they have a
And then
a
start it again.
pandemic or something like that, and the science is evolving, our understanding
Probably
of how
just
it
got-
works changes. It messes everybody up because they didn't know what they were talking about.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Okay,
I like the
back row.
differentiation.
It's called research because it's not known.
Yeah, let's, so we've got the secondary target up to the north. I'm drawing a line through the north tower plume, and then I have Hercules kind of in line with that. On the other side, we are approximately 20 meters from the IP, and we have the sediment trap about 10-ish meters to our, to the west.
Okay.
So the IP is to the northeast of us. The sediment trap is to the west of us, and we're in line there. The total distance between where we are and the secondary target is 70 meters.
Okay, that all sounds pretty good.
Okay.
How do we feel about this? The flatness of this landing zone is all good out here?
Yeah, I do like it. If we can get somehow a good position on this, so if you've got maybe, do we have anything we can place on the ground temporarily and pick up later? And I think we want to temporarily place something else.
Yeah.
What do we want to place something there for?
Mike's gonna want that glove back.
Just so we know the spot.
Just so we have a visual.
Yeah, just a visual target so we don't lose it. And I know because nav bounces around.
Yeah.
I understand what you mean.
Breadcrumb.
You're leaving it there permanently?
Temporarily.
Temporarily.
No. Yeah, we'll swap it with something else later.
Okay.
Yeah, I think.
We need the reamer.
Yeah. So what's a glove? Yeah, let's put the glove down. What is that?
Glove might float around.
Oh. Oh. I think we'll put the beacon down here. Then we'll just come get it later.
Well, we're going to get it to put it on the sediment trap that's going to come up at the end of this dive.
Yes.
So then we don't have the visual anymore.
Well,
we
we'll
don't have a long-term
put something
visual.
temporary. Then there's other junk down here.
Yeah,
Place there.
I just don't want to lose the spot. So if we put anything we put down here, we'll
We've
pick
got
up something different.
We've got a dust cap, don't we?
Do we have a dust cap? Yeah, let's put a dust cap down there, yeah. If we can go down to the bottom, place a dust cap, and then we'll pick something else up at the IP before we go do our multi-beam. And once we're in the north side on the multi-beam, we'll just place something at the other side too. And that way we can not lose it.
Hopefully there won't be any octopuses around or anything like really
Oh,
curious,
look,
weird creatures that'll
target
take it
already.
and move it away somewhere.
Yeah.
Oh, there, like something like that monkey's fist on the end there.
Oh yeah.
That's a good.
But
that's exactly what we want.
There's certain animals.
Do you want to just grab that and bring it over to us?
Be there.
Yes, yes, please. That's the perfect little target.
Right, we'll just hop over there.
Okay. Then stand by on this target. Go ahead. And I'll I'm just going to need you to kind of come back to that spot so we lined up.
And we already had his position marked. All that work.
All that work, we should have just looked at this old spot.
Yep. Ready.
And at the IP, there's similar little trinkets that we can go and put on the other side too.
Okay.
Yeah, on the other side we have that L marker that's not quite on it, but it's nearby for a visual.
Yeah, directly east of it.
But yeah, having something kind of.
But I don't think we want to move that, right, Steve? We want to leave that where it is, the L marker.
Right.
Yeah.
Adjusted it.
Yeah, I mean it takes no time, and then we have it.
My idea is that we're going to find a better spot when we do the 20, 30 meter high in orbit. There'll be a flat plane there that we couldn't locate. That was perfect for it.
There it is.
But even
going to this X.
Just to walk you through what the current plan is for deploying this mooring.
Yeah, that's good.
Is
you got it visual.
Whichever one's more challenging, we'll go and deploy that one first, and then we'll get its pressure at the mooring itself,
yep.
And then on the ship we create a new mooring for this side, like a new height, and wherever that one settles, it settles there, and then we'll just make a custom line for this one.
Right. No, I think we've already. That's what we were.
Okay.
We were. The only thing that doesn't mix is what we're getting now is the actual height of North Tower, so that the far mooring is right.
How close do you need the core S to be to the perfectly top of the mooring, or the top of North Tower?
The first set of transducers are supposed to be 5 meters above.
Okay. All right.
But I'll bring.
Sorry, Data, I have that target up for the primary chorus.
Maybe some adjustments.
Okay.
Got it, thank you.
But we'll have that number.
Yeah.
No, my intent is that I'm going to truncate that data so I can either keep it or leave it later. So you can stop now, and when we do a survey, we'll start re-recording.
And you gotta stop it at the launcher. Go to the Herc launcher. This one, that one, and then stop the recording.
Okay, so we've completed this task as far as I'm aware. So we've gone through. We've got a straight line through.